And that takes us straight to the agenda, which starts with Carlton. The win that they could build their season on, the change in fortunes. It has come at a cost, but it has given all in the Carlton community reason for renewed hope.
Something I've been wanting to tell you.
What does a performance like that do for not just the morale of the team, but just the belief going forward for what the rest of the year can hold?
I love the Blues.
Well, it's given hope.
Somebody take me to home tonight.
The love in the house. It's a Blues fest in here right now.
The Blues are back, baby. Blues are back, baby.
We're too ready to make judgments, and it's just about being able to have patience and make sure that you're really thorough in everything. Have humility to accept the feedback if it's not good enough. Know that you have to be able to get better, challenge hard where you need to. But ultimately, it's about persistence, and when you've got belief in what we've been doing and the players have shared that belief with us to keep sticking at it, it gives you confidence to keep going.
The crowd get ready to rise. He's got it there. And the Blues are nearly there.
We're 3 and 4. We're fighting from a fair way back, so there's plenty of road left.
And listen to the fans.
I think they look like a completely different team to this team we saw in the first month of the year, and I'm a believer.
But they needed a major scalp, and they're going to take one of the biggest of them all.
I tell you, when they're up and going, there's not many supporter groups like it. It's a bit scary.
Those were the truest words of all. They tested the faith at 0-4. They didn't look much good. But yesterday they took a proper scalp, having tuned their game against mediocre opposition. And they had it. If you are a believer, I have high expectations for them. I think the team that they were yesterday is the team that I expect them to be. They have the tent poles up front. They have the swarming forwards who should be better than they have been. They have a midfield that should rarely get beaten. They have a defence that makes so much sense, and they had the outside run. Now, this is a team that lives the roller coaster that is placed around them, and then the team lives it as well. It's the first scalp that they've taken since Geelong in June last year, but it's the one that should open up the possibilities for them.
Yeah, and then the way they did it was the thing that I took away, suggesting that there are better things ahead for them. And Vossi's right. He said we jumped too early. Well, don't jump too early on the win either. We need more evidence on this, but if you are a believer, then you can believe. But what I saw yesterday was a team who a coach who set his team and players with certain roles, and then they just went out and fulfilled them. And that's a simplistic view, but you can start at the back, and it was Silvani on either Dangerfield or Cameron, whichever one he went to. Haynes was intercepting back to his very best. McGovern was playing Wiedering. So they did their role. Midfield clearance domination for much of the game. Walsh running from one end of the ground to the other. George Hewitt getting better. Do your role. Once we get the ball forward, work your backside off to keep it in there. Pressure outstanding, and the big boys clunk some marks. And then Tom DeConing has had a fantastic season. So, as a Carlton fan, you drive away and go, well, yeah, that's easy. That's how it should be, you know. So it was, and I think I'm not taking anything away. Trust me, the Cats were a touch off, and they were poor. But gee, there was a lot to like about the way they went about it. So Elijah Hollands almost summed up the whole thing. He mightn't get coaches' votes, I'm not sure, but he was playing the high half. So play your role, Elijah. You go up and become the 5th midfielder. But then he worked so hard back and got involved. So he had 19 touches late in the quarter. 12 were all inside 50. So he's doing his work up the ground and getting back and being a great contributor there. So ticks everywhere for the Blues. Injuries no good. So Jack Silvani's not the bloke they want to lose. No.
So this is the trick, is it can't always be just when they're fully armed and operational. Yeah. And this is what they did resolve this in the back end of 23. They were able to endure misfortune. So their misfortune today is Williams has the calf injury, so that's ongoing for him, and it's going to be a disruption. Silvani has the broken hand, so we just wait to hear exactly what that's going to be. And Chera has got suspended, and this did catch your eye during the broadcast.
Yeah, it was just a Mitch Hinge style short little right uppercut here from Chera to Jack Bowes. Now, they have to determine how severe it was. If Jack had stood up and just shrugged it off, maybe it doesn't go. So I'm not sure how they determine. Look, it looked like a decent clip. So, you know, if you're going to clip someone, you put your faith in the tribunal. And so they'll miss him. He's been really good. They can cover Williams. They're going to miss Silvani. I'm telling you, he is underrated as to how important
so
he
that's
is.
one out of each area of the field, and we'll talk about them as the week goes on, because it's Adelaide and the Crows have been a test they haven't been able to pass in recent times. The Cats, as you referenced a little bit off, the coach, I think his reviews were 2 thumbs down.
My observation, you know, watching virtually every game every week, is that every team has had one of those days this year where they just couldn't execute, or it didn't look like us. It's as bad as I've seen us play for a long time.
And then in the aftermath, when we were peering into the rooms, and he pulled up a chair with the midfield group.
Yeah, they got slaughtered at clearance, and then they were 14-4 in the last quarter. So if I'm a coach like that, you're sitting there watching 3 quarters of centre clearance and clearance domination, and then the last quarter you're 14-4, you do sit down and you go, what happened? Just tell me what happened. What changed up in the last quarter? This is not one to, you know, I can say it. I've got no vested interests at all with the Cats. I wouldn't get too concerned about it. You know, Dangerfield gets it to Smith and kicked the 3rd goal in the row in the last quarter. They closed to within 10 points. So I'd imagine that's the conversation here. How can it go so one way? We had Adam Simpson tell us a little bit about centre bounce stuff. But they got owned in that space, and then in the last quarter just said, well, we can do it, 14-4, and they were just going nuts at the first 10, 15 minutes. They won every ground ball that went inside forward 50, and they looked like they might have steamed over it, which says the win's even better.